So last night, I was in the middle of a live stream talking about Peterson Eddie of Alterna Comics and crazies going after his real life, and bam, live stream was taken down. I got this from YouTube because apparently there's some false flagging people out there that don't want the truth to come out. So hey, I'm gonna make a video about it now. So hey there. So today we return to that wonderful world of comic books and also that wonderful, wonderful world of crazies. But before we get started, May 15th, 2020, we have a brand new comic coming, another case for the Littlest Umbrella. I'll talk about that at the end of the video, but there's a sign-up sheet in the description. If you sign up and you end up backing, you get an exclusive trading card this way, no other way whatsoever. This is how we avoid sponsors. This is how I become beholden to no one, because you know what? I want to be able to go out, I want to be able to point my finger out there and say that is wrong. And what we're talking about here today, it is definitely wrong. So in order to accurately understand what exactly got flagged, we need to discuss three things. We need to discuss who Peterson Eddie is and Alterna Comics. We need to discuss 2018, and we need to discuss the now. So as far as Peterson Eddie goes, this is the owner operator of Alterna Comics. As you can see in the description here, he's the publisher, founder, and everything in between. Now in 2018, 2019 area, the man was swatted. You can see the postings here. I just had 2 guns pointed at me tonight because someone made a call to the police and gave them my address along with a falsified report. I'm shook up, but everything is okay now. I'm going to talk to the police tomorrow and see if I can find out more. I was going to go back on and continue with another stream, but we're a bit of a mess over here. I'll be back on later when things have calmed down. I'm grateful that the police were thorough and quickly assessed the situation. It was the scariest thing I've ever been through, but their judgment in the situation is the reason I'm even alive right now and able to treat this. Things could have gone so much worse. According to the police, anonymous caller pretended to be me, called up and said that I had, quote, stabbed my girlfriend and that I was suicidal, unquote. They gave the cops my name and address. Now, why did all of this happen back in 2018? And why did people try to drive the man to end his life? Well, because he thanked consumers and he had a social media code of conduct policy for people in the comic book industry. Now, if you're saying to yourself, that umbrella guy, it sounds like there's something missing. Well, here's the thank you portion that starts this all up originally. You can see Alterna thank one person here, another person here, but unfortunately, both of them are using hashtag move the needle. That makes them straight up ists and phobes and what have you. You can see this being called out by one of these crazies, and then people that actually worked with Alterna decided to get into the pile-on and go after the man. You can see him respond to that here too. You know, I supported you guys. I went to bat for you against Diamond and Free Comic Book Day Committee. This is how you respond. Thanks really means a lot. Now, the thing they're all complaining about is a social media code of conduct, where number one, they're required and encouraged to actively promote their titles on social media, and 2, the company does not condone the use of block bots, blind blocking, or block change, where you block people en masse. You have to block people individually, not indiscriminately. They tell you, too, that they would help you out if you're having problems within that, but of course, this puts something on creators. They actually have to act professional, and they cannot stand that idea. To give you an idea of how insane it was, here's 150 collected screenshots of different people going after Alterna. There are so many of them, I had to put them into different folders to keep all of it separated, but all of it is about going at Alterna and trying to end them. To say this is insane is the understatement of the century, as pro after pro come out of the proverbial woodwork trying to destroy a company for literally having behavioral items where they say you can't treat all of our customers poorly because you're going to cost us business. Now, my favorite example about ego of creators, it comes from all of this. You can see Mark Wade spending a lot of time trying to shoot this small business down, and he says the following, and really, listen to this. Yes, Chains or bots sometimes result in unfair situations where a genuinely civil fan can no longer follow a creator on social media, but that was a privilege to begin with, not a God-given right. It's a privilege to interact with people that want you to buy their merchandise. That's why Alterna, they needed to be dealt with, and that's why ultimately they ended up getting swatted. Enter 2020. Peterson Eddie, he actually has the audacity to live stream with one Ethan Van Sciver, and because of that, he inherits some wackos that will not leave him alone. And let me tell you too, those inherited enemies, they are the worst types of people. You can see this comment that he's going to respond to that really gets this started. Exactly. Peterson Eddie is so against quote-unquote SJW's mainstream comics that he faked a swatting attempt for attention. Now, Peterson Eddie did not enjoy that there. He said, "You're kidding me, right? You can't possibly be that ridiculous. I faked a swatting. I faked getting 2 guns pointed to my chest. I faked not being able to live or sleep properly for 2 months. The panic attacks. What the happened to you, Cummings?" Now, back in 2018, 2019, Peterson Eddie was open and honest about what he was feeling to the point he discussed anxiety, depression, and suicidal ideation. Now, as someone that formerly practiced therapy and mental health setting, I can tell you that I find it disconcerting, and I also understand that feeling of being boxed in and dealing with this stuff alone. Because you know what? I have inherited crazies too, and these people, they have been doing insane things since 2019, and it just keeps escalating. Now, in this, these wretched excuses for human beings talk about having the man's address. They talk about calling his local police department. They basically talk about stalking the man again because, hey, suddenly, all of this stuff matters. It hasn't mattered for years plus, but once he went on that live stream, got to put him in his place. You get statements like, "Excellent. Then the police will have a record of the incident. We will solve this case in 2 minutes now that I have his address." Again, you can imagine these people terrorizing someone. And what are they going to do with that address? Of course, you know it's going to end up in public because that's how this stuff plays. Now, you can see that increase in mental duress as he asks questions like, how do you know my town? How do you know my address? How do you know my local PD? And you know why they know that? Because they're driven by hatred. You know, some people have been saying mental illness. Yes, mental illness may exacerbate some problems for certain people, but many of these people, they're not mentally ill. They are driven by out and out hate. Now, this continues until Peterson Eddie, his last thing that he types, he says something serious is happening right now in relation to the past few days of madness that I've been going through. I do not feel safe at this time, and while I hate to do it, this account will be on private, and I will be offline until things are sorted out. You see this too, this little symbol locking down the account. That's something the man has never done here. And when you think about it, basically what it does is it shuts down access, retweets, and on for 83,300 individuals. So if they have comic projects and more, yeah, they don't get shown because, again, this guy is being harassed to a degree. I understand. I deal with this. I inherited the same type of pet psychos. And you know what? It never ends. It only escalates. So over the last 2 days, this stuff, it has gotten under my skin. I've been talking about it quite a bit because I'll tell you, there is no worse feeling in the world than deciding you'll take a stand. You'll stand with other people, only to find when the chips are down and people start aiming at you because you inherit pet psychos that you feel like you stand alone. I mean, people, they like to use words like brother. They like to use words like ally and friend. What would a brother do? What would an ally do? What would a friend do? Been there, felt like that, never, ever shook that feeling. But this, while I was talking about it, yeah, I was taking off air for it. Hi, that umbrella guy. As you may know, our community guidelines describe which content we allow and don't allow on YouTube. Your video, that umbrella guy versus Sean Gordon Murphy, what? Stalkers reveal they have Peterson Eddie's address, was flagged to us for review. Upon review, we've determined that it violates our guidelines and we've removed it from YouTube. Then they go through the whole spiel about how they have automatic reporting and on. And luckily, in this, of course, it doesn't result in any kind of community guideline strike or penalty against my account. But if it continues to happen, yeah, it could. Now, this won't stop me from talking about it. Not at all. Because you know what? I see similarities with what Peterson Eddie is dealing with, what I've dealt with myself, the escalation of crazies, and this feeling of possible regret. You know, for myself, I thought, man, why did I talk about these folks in 2018? Why did I talk about the industry I've given so much of my time and my money to? Why did I ever stand up for professionals saying, hey, something needs to change? Because you know what? It feels like you're standing alone. Peterson Eddie, he probably feels like he's standing alone, boxed into that. And you know what? He's not. The people that call him brother and ally and friend, I'm one of those people. And you know what? I'm standing with the guy. I demand an accounting of it because unlike, say, a Sean Gordon Murphy, who's a mainstreamer dealing with this kind of stuff, Peterson Eddie, he's one of those people that did take a stand. He wasn't part of the problem. He tried to be part of the solution. And nobody should ever be able to stop you from talking about it. But anyway, you tell me what you see in this. And yeah, isn't that crazy? So May 15th, 2020, we have a new comic book coming out. Another case for the littlest umbrella. Little Umbrella Girl, by the way, that's my daughter. These adventures are set up as all ages appeal so we can have fun. We can address something that I love, horror books as well, as that umbrella guy, Little Umbrella Girl, face off against an ancient threat. We're talking about a Lovecraftian evil in an all-new adventure. This is 40 pages, full color, plus we're going to have so much more in that too. And if you sign up for this now, end up purchasing later, you'll get an exclusive trading card for free with that. It's the only way to pick it up, so make sure that you sign up. Link in the description. This stuff, it makes me beholden to no one too. You and I, we can decide what we want to cover. There's no need to go out and to pick up sponsors because you know what? It keeps the passions rolling, and also it helps to change industry. These industries, they need to be changed too because they have empowered the crazies. The crazies, they're trying to destroy people, and that's not right. So yeah, you want to check that out, please do. And thank you. You make this stuff work. You make it possible. Appreciate you. I'm going to end here. I've been rambling too long. Thanks.